right? So today is not so much about scaring you guys. It's more about kind of identifying some of the gaps and helping you fill those gaps. So let's talk a little bit about, first of all, why this topic is so important. Well, real estate is often seen as a career with unlimited potential, flexible hours, high commissions, and the ability to build long-term wealth. But the reality is that the majority of new or newer agents, and when I mean new or newer agents, I generally mean people that are anywhere from day one up until maybe like year 5. All right. So it's not a matter of first year agents or second year agents. This is common pitfalls that generally people will see up to like their 5th year. All right, so the majority of them, we just don't get past their first few years in the business. And, you know, a lot of you have probably seen the studies. I know I quote it a lot, but the studies show that nearly 80% of real estate agents fail within those 5 years. So that's a staggering number. And I think it highlights a harsh reality of our business. And the reality is that real estate is not as easy as it is portrayed on television. So what separates those who fail from those who succeed? And it's not luck, guys. It's not just being in the right place at the right time. It's about understanding the business, first off, having a game plan, consistency, building the discipline of consistency, and surrounding yourself with the right people and systems. So that's exactly what we're going to cover today. And throughout the session, we're going to kind of break down some of the biggest reasons why agents struggle, the mindset, the strategies needed to overcome these challenges, and the steps you can take today to put yourself on a path to long-term success. So I want to emphasize again, this isn't just doom and gloom talk today about why agents fail. My goal is to give you guys real actionable strategies that will ultimately help you not only survive but thrive in this business. All right, so before kind of we go into some of the key lessons, you know, some of you have kind of know my history. I've been in the business 20 years. I've done a little bit of everything. I didn't start in this business kind of knowing everything. So like many of you, I had to figure things out along the way, learning through a lot of trial and error, seeking things like mentorships and constantly refining my skills. But one thing really came clear to me early on is that real estate isn't just about selling homes. All right, it really is about building a business. And if you don't treat it like a business, you're going to struggle to make it work. So that's part of the reason why I really wanted to host this webinar. I've seen so many talented, hardworking agents throw in the towel because they just don't have the right guidance or support or just systems in place. So, and that's frustrating because I know that most of those agents could have succeeded had they had just a little bit of a better roadmap to start. So this webinar, hopefully, is that roadmap for a lot of you. So we're going to cover today why so many agents fail. We're going to kind of dig into the statistics, uncover the common mistakes that generally hold agents back. We'll cover how real estate is more than just sales, and we'll discuss the different roles an agent must master, including marketing, administration, customer service, etc. I want to talk a little bit about personality and how personality types affect success. I want to dig in a little bit into kind of the DISC personality assessment. I want to explore how different personality types thrive in different aspects of the business, all right, and what that could possibly mean to you as individuals. I want to talk a little bit about the importance of potentially being on a team. All right, I'm not here to sell you guys on being on a team, but I think for a lot of agents, especially in today's environment, I think being on a team can be very, very advantageous. We'll talk a little bit about why solo agents often struggle, and how having the right support system can make all the difference. And then I'll give you guys kind of the roadmap, a breakdown of sort of the roadmap to success, if you will. Some proven strategies that successful agents are using to stay consistent, to generate leads, and to close more transactions, and to build a business at the end of the day. So I want this to be more than just another webinar where you take notes and forget about it tomorrow. I want you guys to use this as a turning point, potentially. For those of you who are struggling, and I think at the end of the day, we're all struggling in some way. We're all trying to figure it out. So as we go through each section, thinking about how these lessons apply to you, be honest with yourself about where you might be struggling and where you might need to improve. Because once you identify the gaps, that's when you guys can start filling them. All right. So let's get into one of the most important eye-opening parts of this whole thing, and that is the hard truth about why most agents fail. And I don't say this again to discourage you. I say this to prepare you, right? Because if you understand why most agents fail, you can take steps to make sure that you don't end up as part of that statistic. So 87% of agents fail within the first 5 years. Okay, that means almost 9 out of every 10 agents who get their license will not be in the business from a few years from now. So that's a staggering number. And it's proof that while real estate offers incredible opportunities, it's also incredibly challenging. And it should be, because anything good comes out of the art of challenging. All right. So why do most agents fail? Well, it's not because they're not smart enough, and it's not because they're not working hard enough potentially. It could be a combination of those things, but sometimes it's just because they don't have the right mindset, they don't have the right systems, and they're not consistent enough. All right, working hard is it's kind of an arbitrary subject. Like, we can all work harder at the end of the day. It's very subjective. So I don't want to get into the hard work. I want to get into actual tangible tools. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there who are just not doing what they need to be doing. All right. So mindset is your foundation of success. One of the biggest differences between successful agents and those who fail ultimately is mindset. A lot of newer agents come into the industry with the idea that the real estate game is just easy money and that they'll simply pass their exams, get a license, and just start closing deals left and right. But real estate isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a business, and businesses take time to build. Successful agents approach real estate with more of a growth mindset. They understand that success doesn't happen overnight. It takes consistent effort over months and sometimes years. Rejection is part of the process. Every no gets you closer to a yes. They are responsible for their own success, meaning they don't make excuses, right? They find solutions and they invest in themselves. They invest in themselves when it comes to learning, training, and personal development. Agents who fail often do so because they lack resilience. They hit their first obstacle, a lost deal, a tough client, a setback, a slow month, and they immediately start questioning whether they're cut out for this, right? And that becomes a slippery slope. So the reality is that obstacles are a given anytime you're building a business. The question is, how do you respond to those obstacles? Do you use them as a source of negative, in other words, deterring you from continuing, or do you use them as an opportunity for growth? All right. Lack of systems and consistency is key. We'll talk a little bit more about this, but it's a really big key reason. They don't have a structured way to generate leads. They don't have a process for following up. And they don't have a daily schedule that prioritizes income-producing activities like prospecting and networking. Okay? Real estate is not about doing a little bit here and there. It's about being consistent every single day. If you only work when you feel like it or when you have time, you're setting yourself up for failure. Right? And then the other thing, a couple of more things, lack of training and support. Many agents fail because they try to do everything on their own. They don't seek out mentors, they don't raise their hand, they don't invest in training, and they don't align themselves with the right people, whether it's a team or whether it's other people in the business that can help support them. All right? Think about it this way. Would you try to run a restaurant by yourself? Or would you try to become a professional athlete without a coach? No, you'd want someone who's there or who's been there or has been in the place that you're trying to go to, who can give you a game plan, help you avoid mistakes, and accelerate your learning curve. And the same truth is in real estate. The other thing is lack of financial planning. It's a really overlooked reason for failure. It's poor financial planning. Many new agents don't save enough money to sustain themselves. Many new agents don't save enough money to pay their board dues when they get licensed. I get that a lot. Hey, I just got my license, but I don't have enough money to pay my board dues. So I have to delay getting associated with a brokerage. Right? So a lot of people just underestimate the expenses that your business has. Marketing, brokerage fees, continuing ed, things like that. They don't invest in their business for leads, branding, or systems that ultimately create long-term growth. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit about the harsh realities, let's shift our focus to what real estate really is, and that's a business with many moving parts. Right? So one of the biggest misconceptions about real estate is that it's just about selling houses. And many agents, many newer agents in particular, believe that if they just focus on finding buyers and sellers, they'll be successful. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. Right? Ultimately, real estate is a business, and like any business, it requires a combination of sales, marketing, administration, customer service, and financial management. So at its core, real estate is a sales business. We know that. If you don't have leads, you don't have clients, you don't have deals. This means you need consistent lead generation strategy. You actually need multiple lead generation strategies. So whether it's through cold calling, networking, social media marketing, working with for sale by owners and expired listings, you need to develop strong communication and negotiation skills, and you need to figure out what is ultimately your path. What are the avenues that you're taking to consistently bring in new contacts into your database? Right? Marketing and branding. In today's digital world, real estate is as much about marketing as it is about selling. Right? You can sell but through marketing. You need to build your personal brand. You need to establish a presence online. Create content that attracts clients. So this includes social media, email marketing, running ads, and even in-person branding through things like events and networking. We covered a lot about the advantages of doing events last week when we dug into kind of the strategies behind being a hyper-local agent. All right. Number 3, admin work and transaction management. One of the biggest challenges agents face is staying organized. You have to manage your contracts, coordinating with all your people, your lenders, your inspectors, your title companies. You have to ensure deadlines are met. So without systems in place, it's easy to drop the ball on all those. Number 4, customer service and relationship management. Okay, real estate is a relationship business. Your long-term success depends on how well you serve your clients and maintain relationships for future referrals. Many agents get caught up in chasing new leads and forget how to nurture their existing database. It's a major mistake. And then number 5, financial and business management. All right, many agents fail because they don't treat their finances properly. So unlike a traditional 9-to-5 job, real estate income can be unpredictable. You need to budget for slow months. You need to constantly be reinvesting into your business. So let's talk a little bit about personality types and how they impact success in our business. Many agents struggle because they are trying to force themselves oftentimes into roles that don't fit their natural strengths. All right. We all know that our industry requires you to wear a lot of different hats. Our personalities are not all going to be accustomed to handling or wearing those hats at a high level. It's just natural. It's impossible. You can't be everything as a personality. All right, so this is where the DISC personality assessment can be extremely useful. If you've never taken one, I highly recommend. The DISC model categorizes people into 4 personality types. And understanding which category you fall into can help you maximize your strengths and find help for your weaknesses. So I want to make this very, very clear. The goal for you guys should not be to turn your weaknesses into strengths. The goal should be to figure out ways to make your strengths stronger and to find ways to leverage your weaknesses. All right, so when I talk about personalities and I talk about strengths and weaknesses as it pertains to your personalities, I want to make sure you guys understand that. All right, so there's generally 4 personality types. There's D, dominance. I, influence. Dominance is like kind of the driver. There's I, influence, that's the communicator. S, steadiness, that's the supporter. And C, conscientious, that's the analyst. All right? How this affects your real estate career is really important. Most people are a blend generally of two type of personality types, two disc types. And each combination comes with its own strengths and challenges. For example, a DI agent are generally aggressive and great at sales, but they may struggle with admin work and organization. An SC agent are amazing with details and customer service, but they may lack the confidence in prospecting and negotiating. And an IS agent are natural networkers, but may have trouble following through on the back end processes. So the solution generally is you want to leverage. You want to leverage a team and you want to leverage systems. If you know your natural tendencies, you can put strategies in place to overcome your quote unquote weaknesses. All right. So for example, if you're a DI who struggles with admin work, you need a CRM and you need a TC, transaction coordinator, to keep everything organized. Maybe even an admin at some point. If you're an SC who struggles with prospecting, you need scripts, you need coaching, you need accountability to push you out of your comfort zone. If you're an IS who loves networking, but lacks structure, you need automation. You need systems like KV Core and a system that I'm a big proponent of, like Go High Level. All right? So now that you guys kind of understand real estate as a multifaceted business and how your personality plays a role in your success, let's move on to some kind of like bigger reasons why new agents fail and how to avoid them. So to take this concept further, let's talk about personality types. The DISC assessment is a tool that helps us understand why some agents thrive in certain aspects of real estate and why we struggle away and why some struggle. All right, so now that we kind of have an idea of structure and personality, let's break down the top reasons, right? And we're going to break down each of these reasons. So number one is no clear business plan. I got a nice shining light shining on me right now, which looks weird on camera. All right. No clear business plan. So agents don't know where the next lead is coming from. That's number one. Number two, inconsistent lead gen. We talked about that. We're going to kind of dive into it. All right. Number three, we're going to talk poor time management rather. Agents get distracted. We get distracted and we don't focus on the more income producing activities oftentimes. Number four, we lack follow-up. Most deals happen through long-term nurturing. Many agents give up way too soon. Give me a sec. I want to turn this a little bit so that the sun is not in my face as much. I'm in a new house and I still have not put up any drapes, at least not in my office. So here I am. Note to self for next week. I know what I'll be doing this weekend. All right, number five, not investing in personal growth, super important. Most of you don't have that problem because you're here today. And I'm not saying these trainings are the end-all be-all, but I think it's an example of a potential discipline that you've all built to attend opportunities to educate yourselves and to hear different things about different ways to build your business. It's really important. We have a 150 agent organization inside of our brokerage, and we have 10 people on. It's a perfect example right here. Choosing the wrong brokerage or mentorship is also a pitfall. All right, we're going to talk about that. Let's kind of break them down one by one. All right, so I'll ask you guys this: have you ever felt like you were just winging it? Maybe some months are great. Maybe others feel like a real struggle. If you're newer to the business, you will have months like this. So that's because many agents treat real estate like a hobby instead of a business. Right? They wait for They just basically wait for deals to come to them instead of creating systems to generate consistent income. Right? But here's the reality. Without a clear plan, success, it's very unpredictable. Many agents enter the industry thinking they'll make money just by showing up. They'll get their license, maybe do a few deals, and they'll assume that business will just keep rolling in. But the fact is that without a structured plan, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle with inconsistent income. They're going to chase after random leads instead of a targeted strategy. And they're going to waste time on activities that don't really move the needle forward on their business. So think about it. If you open up a coffee shop, would you just hope people walk in? Or would you have some sort of marketing plan in place? Do you have some sort of financial target and a strategy to attract customers? Real estate is no different. A written business plan with clear goals can be a game-changing proposition for you guys. This is what separates top agents from the ones who struggle year after year. Your plan should include 4 key components. Number 1, lead generation strategy. How will you get new clients? Will you focus on cold calling, online leads, referrals, social media, open houses? And these are just some of the different ways. Set a target for daily outreach. Number 2, financial goals. How much do you need to earn this year? How much do you want to earn this year? Break that into 2 different categories. Your goal should be your want. What you pay in bills every month should be your need. Break it down. Break it down into how many deals you need to close per month to hit that goal. If you're tracking your business properly, then you should be able to continue to move forward, or in this case, backwards, of breaking down those numbers from how much money do you need to how many deals, all the way to how many new leads you should be talking to or attracting into your database on a monthly basis. Right? If you're tracking every conversion rate of every aspect of moving kind of the life cycle of a transaction forward, as we move the life cycle, then you can break it down to a very specific idea as to how many people should I be conversing with on a weekly or monthly basis to get to that ultimate bottom line number. Then it becomes a little bit more tangible. Then you know exactly what you need to be doing as on a consistent basis as kind of the starting point that will eventually snowball into everything else. All right, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for everybody. All right, marketing plan. What's your strategy for branding and attracting those leads? Are you leveraging things that are at your disposal, like social media, email marketing, or local networking events? And these are just to name a few. What does your daily schedule look like? That's number 4. Really important. For me, the minute I took control of my calendar was the minute that everything started changing for me. Right? And that was unfortunately later rather than sooner in my career. But better late than never, I guess. So the most successful agents generally have a very strict calendar and they follow it. All right? It's not just about having one. It's about being very disciplined to it and following it. All right? So when will you prospect? When will you follow up with leads? When will you work on personal development? When will you go on showings? So a well-structured calendar ultimately will be a game changer for your business. All right. Here's my advice, guys. Take 30 minutes this week, sit down and write out your business plan. Start there if you haven't done so already. Be specific. The more detailed, the better. If you're not sure how to create one, we can help. I've got templates. There's a ton of them online. Use AI, guys. You don't even need to Google any of this shit anymore. Just go on ChatGPT and put in a prompt. I'm a real estate agent who needs a template for a business plan. Create one for me. I'll spit one out in 2 seconds. All right? Again, real estate isn't luck. It's strategy. The agents who succeed don't hope for business. They create it through a good plan. That starts with a good plan and execution. All right, so let's talk about one of the obvious struggles in real estate, and that is inconsistent lead gen. Most agents start strong, they close a few deals sometimes. They get referrals from some friends and family, and they feel like things are going well. And then the well dries up. No new leads, no active clients, and suddenly they're scrambling to figure out where their next deal will come from. So why does this happen? It's because most agents don't have a system to consistently generate leads. Some common mistakes. One of the biggest ones is relying only on their personal network. They expect friends and family to just keep sending them business, but eventually that source will slow down. Another common mistake is not diversifying their lead sources. Some agents rely only on one method, whatever it is. And when that one source slows down, so does their business. You need a diversified lead generation plan. Okay? The key to success is to have multiple streams of leads coming in at all times. You need probably 3 or 4 main ones, but generally the most successful agents have about 8 or 9 total. All goes to one well. So things like reaching out to for sale by owners and expired leads. I'm a big proponent of this. I did that a lot as an agent, and I continue to teach it. Right? These are sellers who want to sell, and with the right approach, you can position yourself as the best solution to get them as clients. Right? Open houses, a great way to generate leads. It's a great way to figure out a lot of things. Open houses are a great way to meet not just buyers, but also sellers. You got the looky-loo neighbors that always walk in, and they want to see what their neighbors are selling their house for and what their house looks like. That's a neighbor, that's a homeowner next door. If they can walk into your open house and you can knock their socks off with just your presentation alone, that can go a long way to potentially getting a listing down the road. All right? Online ads. Again, something that I'm a big proponent of. You got to spend a little money. Running targeted ads on platforms like Facebook, Google will bring consistent leads. They may not be actively looking to sell or buy today or tomorrow, but these are people that you can nurture long term. All right? And the other thing I would tell you guys is take stock in what you do on a consistent basis. It's very likely that things that you are already doing can become a lead gen source. Like going to like a fitness class. When you go to a fitness class, you go to like Soul Cycle or Orange Theory or something like that. There's like 50 people in that class. Just be more intentional. That's all. Just keep going to the class. Right? If you have kids, get involved. PTAs and charity drives and, whatever. It's an easy way to meet people. And that's what lead gen ultimately is. Do what you're already doing, just be more intentional about it. And you can easily find really effective organic lead sources just by looking what is happening inside of your own life. All right? Again, the best agents don't hope for leads. They have a machine that they've built, and it keeps their pipeline full, no matter what's happening in the marketplace. And the market's always changing. If you guys don't have a system in place, now is the time to create one. All right? I would focus on at least 3 different lead sources and commit to working them daily. All right? Now watch how it grows and watch how more predictable your business becomes. All right, one of the biggest challenges agents face on top of lack of leads or opportunities is poor time management, and just overall discipline. All right, again, there's 2 parts to having a good calendar. It's being able to sit down and actually put your calendar together. That's part 1. Part 2 is being very disciplined to it. And what I mean when I say discipline, I mean being able to say no from time to time. All right, so most of us start our day with good intentions, but we get distracted by things that don't really move our business forward. We're checking social media, we're responding to non-urgent emails, we're spending hours on admin tasks instead of focusing on what actually generates income. All right, so some common time wasters, we all know them. All right, how much time do you spend scrolling through social? I'm guilty of it as much as anyone. Right? We're researching instead of taking action. This is what we want to tell ourselves when we're doing that. Or we're just waiting for leads to come to us. Another big mistake is focusing on busy work instead of productive work. All right, things like organizing your CRM, tweaking your website, or creating the perfect marketing piece. All right? If these are things that are keeping you from talking to potential clients, they're holding you back. All right? Structure and discipline is your solution. Agents who are successful don't rely on motivation. All right? I hate motivation. Motivation is a scam. All right? They rely on systems. They rely on discipline and systems. They create structure, particularly a structured schedule, and they stick to it no matter what. Excuse me, still dealing with a cold. About 8 weeks now, probably longer. All right, so here's how you fix time management and you stay on track. The first is time blocking. Plan your day in advance. Block out time for all tasks, not just meetings, but for actual tasks. All right, this means you're setting dedicated hours for prospecting. You're setting hours for lead follow-up, appointments, and any administrative work. If it's not in your schedule, it doesn't get done. That's the rule of thumb. Daily prospecting, all right? Talking to potential clients is the most important part of your day, period. So whether it's whatever, any one of the lead generation examples that we've mentioned. I'm not going to go through them. But this is a non-negotiable priority, daily, non-negotiable. I don't care what else you do or not do. Prospecting has to be part of your daily thing that you're doing, no matter what. If you're a part-time agent and you do nothing else but prospect daily, you will have a business at some point. Okay? Treat real estate almost like a 9-to-5 job, except the hours aren't 9 to 5. But have a set time. Have a set time to start your work and structure your day with clear goals and avoid distractions, especially during income-producing hours. People in your life will test you. They know that you're not in an office. If they knew you were in an office, they wouldn't call you at 11 o'clock. But they know you're not, so they call you at 11 o'clock because they just assume you're available. Okay? I know this happens to pretty much everyone. So you have to have the discipline and the power to say no. Okay? If you don't take control of your time, your business will always feel in utter chaos. Again, the agents who succeed are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who show up every day, they have a plan, and they follow it, and they do the work. So you got to ask yourself, it's kind of the old adage, right? Are you running your schedule, or is your schedule running you? This light in my eyes is really annoying. Just for the record, in case anyone was wondering. All right. Most agents lose deals not because they don't generate leads, but because they don't follow up. Right? Follow-up is the key. The reality is that most leads don't convert on the first call. Actually, they don't convert in the first few calls or meetings. But for some reason, many agents give up after a few attempts, sometimes just one attempt. Right? They assume that if a prospect doesn't respond right away, they're not interested. That is a huge mistake. Colossal mistake. So studies have shown that it takes an average of 6 to 8 touch points before a lead is ready to take action. Now, action can be subjective. Action doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to actually look at property if we're talking just buyers for a second. Action can be something as simple as ready to talk to an agent. Some clients might be months away from making a move. But when agents fail to stay in touch, they lose that business. And they lose it to someone else who does stay in touch. So think about it. How many times have you reached out to a lead once, never heard back, and then potentially saw them later buy or sell, or eventually got in touch with them down the road and they bought or sell? It happens all the time. You may not even understand how often it happens. All right, so what's the solution? We need a systematic follow-up plan. Okay, you need an automated system that keeps you top of mind of all your clients and all your leads until they're ready to take action. All right, use a CRM, guys. I mean, if you're not using it, like, what are you doing? KV Core is phenomenal. High level, again, something that I use. I prefer third party because KV Core is specific to real estate. And to me, high level is just a little bit more of an all-encompassing marketing platform. But these are just some of the platforms that make it easy to track your leads. Okay, and you can also set reminders. You can automate all of your follow-up. Go High Level even has an AI built in it. I don't know if KV Core does. I haven't used KV Core in a while. But I've got people who will text me in response to any marketing campaign that I'm running, including marketing campaigns for these trainings that you guys get every single week. Those are all automated. I just change the content. If you guys ever responded on text to any one of those, you would probably, the first answer you would get would be from an AI representing itself as me, and it will sound exactly like me because I've trained it. All right. All while I'm doing God knows what, at the pool with my kids or something. But the shit's working for me. Okay? Long-term email and text drip campaigns, I'm a huge proponent of this. Again, not every lead is going to be ready today. It doesn't mean they won't be in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I don't care. Okay? A well-designed drip campaign keeps you in front of your leads with valuable content, market updates, and reminders that you're the agent to call when they're ready. Guys, you don't have to get too complicated with this. Putting someone on a simple market alert does the trick. If you want to get more elaborate, it's easier than ever before to create campaigns with AI. I put together a campaign for this group 4 years ago. I don't even remember how many touch points. 60, maybe? And I did them all manually from here onto here, typing them out. Literally, I had a board in my office, in my old office, and it was ridiculous, but I did it, and it's actually, it's been really successful for a lot of agents that have taken it on. But now when I need to do a new campaign, I go into ChatGPT or something like that, and I give it a prompt, and I tell it exactly who I am and what I need and what the goal is, and it'll spit it out for me, and then it just becomes a copy and paste game that I can do while literally watching television in the evening, which I do. All right? And then consistent touch points, right? Schedule follow-ups at regular intervals. So something like immediate reach out. Then again in 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. Everybody, you guys should be categorizing your leads. All right, you got your A, B, and C leads. Your A people are people that are buying or moving, let's say, inside of 3 months. Your B people are like 4 to 6 months, and then there's everyone else. And you should have A, B, and C campaigns. The closer they are to their ultimate move time frame, the more frequently you want to reach out to them. Now, the people that are inside 90 days are generally going to be reached out to manually. These are the people that you're probably actively looking and connecting with. But the further away they are, the less frequent you want to reach out to them. You don't want to bombard them because you'll just alienate them. But you can have campaigns set up similar to that. All right, so the bottom line is that leads don't convert right away. But the ones that don't convert right away are not dead leads. They're just not ready yet. Your job is to stay in front of them. That's the job. The job is creating as many new opportunities as possible that we're putting into our database and staying in front of them. That's the job, you guys. There's nothing else you need to do in this business if you're not doing that. Personal growth and education. I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker than the other slides because this is pretty cut and dry. Growth matters. All right? You want to always level up in all facets of the business. Market changes, technology advances, client expectations shifts. Everything. Take as much advantage as you can. It's easier than ever before to get information, from books to YouTube videos to webinars like this that are happening all the time. You just have to be plugged in. All right, masterminds, coaching groups, attend trainings and conferences. I'm kind of preaching to the choir here because you guys are here. All right, follow top industry leaders. Find them. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. And then get better at understanding what technology is out there and use it. All right? Choosing the right brokerage. It's important. Not every brokerage is right for everyone. It's a mistake that a lot of agents make because they choose the brokerages for the wrong reasons. All right? A lot of us get caught up in commission splits or big promises, only to realize that none of those things matter ultimately with putting money in your pocket. Right? Because we need support, we need training. We need somebody to teach us how to get leads. We need tools and resources to be able to create systems that get those leads and follow up with people. All right, so too often agents join a brokerage thinking that they'll automatically succeed, and they find themselves completely on their own. And that's tough. No guidance, no accountability, no real direction on how to build their business. So without the right mentorship and resources, agents generally will struggle to generate leads, waste time trying to figure everything out on their own, and ultimately they're going to feel isolated and unsupported in what is a very, very competitive industry, as we all know. Right? Success in real estate isn't just about where you hang your license. It's about who you are surrounded by that's helping you grow. So instead of just looking at things like commission splits, you got to ask yourself, does this brokerage provide real training and mentorship? All right, we all need hands-on coaching. We need scripts. We need systems. All right? Do they offer opportunities for building support? Business building support. A brokerage or a team that maybe provides some of these strategies or technology and a clear game plan, a successful roadmap. It's invaluable for agents. Community and culture. I run a team, you guys. I generate leads for my agents. You would be amazed at the amount of people that I talk to who want to potentially work with my team simply on leads, simply because we have leads. It's the worst reason, not the worst reason, but it's the people aspect of this industry is probably, to me, the most important value add. Community and culture. Surrounding yourself with top-performing, growth-minded agents can accelerate your success better than anything else, in my opinion. Being part of a community, being part of a collaborative team is going to make all the difference. And that's what we're trying to build here, or rebuild it as it stands. Real estate cannot be played as a solo sport, okay? It's football, it's not tennis. The right brokerage, the right mentor, the right coach, the right team can easily make or break your career. So choose an environment that challenges you. Choose an environment that supports your growth and shows you the way. I want to talk about team for a second. Not everyone should be on a team, but I think Where our industry is today, I think being on a team is more important than ever before. That's just my personal opinion. As somebody who works with a lot of solo agents, as somebody who runs a team, and as somebody who has a lot of friends and colleagues that are way more successful, smarter, and more talented than I will ever be. All right. The most successful agents don't do it alone. And I say team, I want to preface this by saying you can be on a team or you can surround yourself with a team. So a team doesn't have to be like in an official capacity. It could be the right lender, it could be the right mentor. But for this slide in particular, I'll talk about just being on a team. And some of the advantages of being on a team. Okay? Most agents start off solo, thinking they have to figure everything out on their own. But without support, we struggle. We all struggle. So why does a real estate team matter? Well, a real estate team can fill the gap on things like lead gen. Generally on a team, they will already have some sort of lead generation system, all the systems that we've kind of talked about today. I think I mentioned systems twice here in my notes. Accountability and motivation. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and we were talking, not today, earlier this week. A colleague of mine who works with us on my team, and she's kind of like the de facto coach on our team, and she's become a personal friend. Her name is Monique. And we were talking about accountability. And I think the line I used is that agents don't want accountability. The agents who want accountability, they don't really want accountability. What they are is they get to a place where they feel like they need it. Nobody wants to be held accountable. It's not like, hey, I want somebody to hold me accountable today. But we get to a point where we feel like in our business, we need accountability. So it's easy to lose momentum when there's no one pushing you to improve. We all need accountability. We all need to surround ourselves with people that push us. That's in our business and in our personal. Resources and mentorship, learning through trial and error takes time and costs money. Being on a team, you're part of already an existing business that has gone through all this trial and error. All right, so many teams provide high quality leads. They provide a CRM and already all the automation tools to help agents focus on closing deals rather than chasing. Right? Most teams will have that mentorship and training, being surrounded by experienced agents. It means you can learn from proven strategies instead of guessing what works. Collaboration and culture is a big value prop on teams. A strong team creates a supportive environment. Agents share knowledge, they celebrate wins, and they push each other. And increased efficiency, right? There's admin support on teams. There's transaction coordination on team. There's marketing assistance on teams. You can focus on income-producing activities. Essentially, what a team can do for you is make sure that allow you to spend 80% of your time, and I'm being conservative, just working on the things that we all kind of just imagine we'd be doing when we get into the industry, and that is dealing with people and ultimately closing deals. All that other stuff that we've talked about, the administrative, the marketing, gets taken off of your hands on a good team. Okay? So it's not just about having good colleagues, right? It's about having a built-in structure for success. All right? So the question is, are you trying to do it all alone? Or are you ready to create a system or plug into a system? All right? So here's the roadmap, guys, in a nutshell. This kind of summarizes what we talked about today. Number one, daily prospecting. My advice, 2 hours a day, minimum. Real estate is a contact sport. It's kind of an old, corny cliche, but it's true. The more people you talk to, the more deals you close. It's that simple. It could be boiled down to a numbers game. You don't need to be a highly skilled salesperson to do well in our industry. You just have to be able to talk to more people so you can find the people that are motivated to buy or sell. It's that simple. All right? So dedicate at least 2 hours a day to prospecting. This is the foundation for anyone's success. Number 2, structured follow-up system. Again, most deals are not lost because of bad leads, but because of bad follow-up. A structured follow-up system, whether through a CRM, automation, automated text, drip campaigns, newsletters, whatever, it ensures that no leads fall through the cracks, or at least most of them don't fall through the cracks. So make sure you're following up consistently until your people are ready to buy or sell. Master scripts and objection handling. Confidence comes from preparation. It's a little bit of a saying of mine. Right? The best agents don't wing their conversations. They master their scripts so they can handle any objection smoothly. No matter who, no matter lead source, right? FSBOs, expireds. Buyer consultations, which is what we're doing now. We didn't used to do buyer consultations before this whole NAR nonsense. Now we have to do them, and in some ways I think there's an advantage to doing them. In a lot of ways, actually. But they're not easy if you're doing them for the first few times. So being prepared means you'll convert more. And you'll just be more confident, and those presentations will just be better. All right. Ongoing learning and mentorship. All right. Our business is constantly evolving. And the best agents generally evolve with it. Invest in your education, guys. Continue to invest in your education, as I should say, for the people that are logged in. All right. Keep attending trainings. Join masterminds. Learn from those who have already built the success you want. All right? And again, surround yourself with successful people. I'm going to re-highlight this a little bit. Your environment shapes your success. If you want to grow, surround yourself with people who are winning. Being part of a team or having a strong network of high performers will inspire you. I don't use the word motivate. I hate motivate, but it will inspire you. And it will push you to stay accountable, take bigger action, and keep improving. And also really raising the level of belief as to what's possible. Okay? We're all a fish in a fishbowl. I love that analogy. You'll only grow as big as you will allow or as big as your belief system is. If you believe that you will grow big, you'll grow big. If you firmly believe it. You'll only grow to the level of your ultimate belief. All right? The roadmap works, but you have to commit to it. You just have to follow the steps that ultimately breed success. Choice is yours, guys.